Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om. Namaste, good morning, Sitaram. Well, it's Sunday morning here in America and in the western part of the earth, and in India we're coming down to the evening. And we're so blessed that this morning, such a nice morning here in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Our energy level, what we have in our mind, that is so important for us. We should be always aware of what we have in our minds. The thoughts that weaken us is going to bring us down, and thoughts of the Lord is going to lift us up. So this morning, let us bring in our presence the Lord. And this nice song I always like, and it's coming from Nepal. It's sung in Nepalese, and it talks glorify Krishna in the highest way. Om Krishna Murari Sudarshan Dhari Murali bajao ne timi kaha cho Murali bajao ne timi kaha cho Madhyao ratma maturale tori Vasudev ko nandanale tori Barsa ko bori Charan le mori Jamuna jatao ne timi kaha cho Jamuna jatao ne timi kaha cho. What this song is saying, it's the story of the birth of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when there's a decline of righteousness and then rise of unrighteousness. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya taratmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashachaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya shambhavani juge juge shambhavani juge juge. That, oh Arjuna, when there's a decline of righteousness, I manifest myself to sustain, to create that balance that is necessary for the welfare of all. And we've seen this in this song, that Krishna, he was put in the prison by Kansa, and Devaki, they were there in that, and the children were being born, and the first 7 child, they were all killed by cancer. But the 8th child, when it took birth, based on the prophecy that Krishna, it was Krishna. And then the Leela started there. As the child was took birth, then what happened? The guards were put to sleep, and the gates to the prison flung open, and Vasudeva was instructed through that silent message, take this child to Gokul, and put him in a basket on his head, and then he was about to cross the Yamuna River. But the river was so violent, currents were high, the waves are very strong, and guess what happened? He would have, when his little feet touched the water, Krishna's little feet touched the water, the Yamuna River separated. Oh Krishna, why don't you separate your feet be in front of us? So this way, all the troubles that we have, let us understand your Leela. Let us understand. Take us out of this mesmerizing illusion that you created. This whole universe is just a reflection of you. We are nothing. Our body is you, our mind is you, our intellect is you, and that little abhiman that you give us to do things, a desire to do things, it's you. So this morning, Krishna, help us to realize that. And sometimes, Krishna, you frolic with the gopis and the gwals, and then sometimes you have that Sudarshan chakra that when you let that loose, there's no one can stop it. It's traveling at light speed for light per second, and protect us with your power. Bhakta Sudhama Dharye aaye, ek muti chawal sat malai, kache prabhuli kachau kho, prema se khao ne timi kahacho, prema se khao ne timi kahacho. Krishna Murari Sudarshan Dari, Murali bajao ne timi kahacho, Murali bajao ne timi kahacho. Ah, Krishna, when your boyhood friend came to you, Sudama, he was so poor and he didn't have nothing to eat, and his wife said, well, how long can we go down like this, struggling for a meal a day, living in this little hut? And he says, go and see your friend. He has a palace. He's a king. And then Sudama was a little hesitant. But anyway, she wrapped a little rice, parched rice in her cloth, and then he gifted it to Sudama. Go, this you have to take to Krishna. And yes, Krishna knew Sudama was coming. And he was there waiting for him and make preparation for him to take a bath. And new cloth was laid out like a kingly cloth. And then Sudama would have come and then sat down to eat. And then Krishna said, what have you brought for me, Sudama? And he was so shy, being in a palace, all this lavish food, and he has this parched rice, dried rice. And then Krishna says, I want that. And when he ate that rice, he says, this is the best. So when it was offered with love and so much devotion and shraddha, faith, that Krishna, that's what he wants from us, our love and devotion or our faith in him. And then when he ate it, oh, this is the best food I ever had, Sudama. So this is how we have to approach the Lord. And then you go like this. Mahabharatama Sastra Sunaye Sansar Ko Agyan Mita Lagaye Sarati Be Prabhu Ratlai Maki Gita Sunao Ne Timi Kahacho, Gita Sunao Ne Timi Kahacho. Oh Krishna, your Leela is so mesmerizing. You sanctioned the Mahabharata war when all negotiations failed, and when Duryodhan want to even capture you, and you sanctioned the war, knowing well that so much millions of soldiers, innocent soldiers, would be killed. But then you give the answer to that question, why you sanction it. And Krishna, you said, who you think they are? They are me. Everything is me, meaning consciousness. When we talk about Krishna, we have to talk about Krishna in his 5 aspects. Krishna's consciousness, where from that the material cause came and the efficient cause came. In other words, the building blocks for the universe came, the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space. And from that, the efficient cause, the blueprint. Imagine what a blueprint it is. Take, for instance, our simple planetary system with the sun in the center, and the 9 planets, the Navgraha, are circling it. The magnetic force of the sun, the heat and the light from the sun is sustaining Mother Earth and all these planets. What a blueprint he has given us. And then imagine, for a child to take birth, it needs the father and the mother, 1 cell from each, and then it's implanted inside the mother's womb. And that cell, it has that two cells has all the building blocks for a child. And then the cells will multiply, and then the baby will take form inside the mother's womb. And then, of course, birth will come. What a beautiful, what a miraculous thing. Because mothers are so powerful. They are sustainers in creation. And this morning, we have to honor mothers, never abuse a mother. Because, imagine, especially children, showing disrespect for mothers and fathers. Imagine a mother will have a child in her womb, and when she's getting kicked by the child, she feels good. Why? Because she knows the child is healthy. But getting kicked is not an easy thing when a woman's so stretched out. But the love, and that's the greatness of mothers. Anyway, Krishna, you've given us, you are that consciousness, awareness. And then you showed Arjuna that Virat Roop, meaning you show him, Arjuna, that you are the whole of the universe. And then Arjuna said, oh my Lord, what I was thinking, you are so powerful. I was calling you comrade, I was calling you friend. But then as of now, I'm going to have to call you Lord. And then that's the second one. And then the tier of individual soul, Advaita philosophy doesn't support that, Adi Shankaracharya, because Adi Shankara said there's one all-pervading consciousness. And the individual soul theory he would have not said. But anyway, we'll say they're individual souls, that each of us have that consciousness in us. But it cannot be parceled out. Consciousness cannot be divided. So that's the third one. The fourth one, you took incarnation. Krishna, this Krishna that we know with a form is just to relate to us as human beings, because we are human beings and you took the form of a human being, and this is how you relate to us and you show your miracle. And this is the Krishna we all know and we pray to. And then the next one, the third one is, the fifth one is that, oh Krishna, you said you are the five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space. And you said also, you are the brilliance in all that was created. We're seeing the sun here, we're seeing the trees, and we're hearing the birds chirping. Listen. The birds are chirping. You are that brilliance that you bring, the life, the happiness that is in our environment, in your creation. So these are the five aspects of Krishna. But most of all, Krishna, you left us with the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, what a beautiful book. And Swami Parameshananda, he's the prophet of the age, and we would have said to him, Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namo Nama. Tum hi Brahma Vishnu, tum hi Maheshwara, Devadi Deva Mahadevaya Namo. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. We have to have that wisdom to recognize God in all His form. In other words, that when Swami Parameshananda is no other but the Krishna and the Buddha and the Christ and and all these manifestations of consciousness. In Him, he would have said, Mother Durga is living in Him. He has become Mother Durga. And in Him also, Vishnu Bhagwan, He's the Vishnu Bhagwan. So we have to have that wisdom that when we worship this Guru, Swami Parameshananda, manifestation of consciousness and incarnation of Lord Shiva, we should not be saying, okay, I want to go back to traditionally and culture where we only want to worship what has been handed down to us through our generation. Oh, we must worship Krishna, we must worship we must worship Mother Durga and Mother Lakshmi. Yes, that is so. But when the new prophet comes, we must know that prophet is also the same caliber of Krishna and Bhagwan Sri Ram. And this is my conviction that the monk, the Swami Parameshananda, founder of the Bharat SEVASHRAM, manifestation of consciousness, incarnation of Lord Shiva, he is a practical God. He comes out of his murti, that's my experience. He puts us in the right place at the right time. He communicates to us through meditation and dreams. These are all the ways that God communicates, this Swami Parameshananda. So this is my conviction. What is your conviction? Did you have any experience? Did you got darshan of the God that you pray to? Well, maybe you should pray a little harder. But if you do get it, then there'll be a conviction. This is my conviction, that Swami Parameshananda is God. And this is the God I worship, because he took me out of mundane life, and he has me sustained through activities of the Bharat SEVASHRAM to sustain this spiritual life that he's putting into. This morning, Sunday morning, I hope my message is not, you understand it properly, because you know, I love the Christ, I love the Buddha, I love Krishna, I love Bhagwan Sri Ram, but my meditation is on Swami Parameshananda because of the conviction. He's the prophet of the age. With this, I leave this message, and hope you have a beautiful day, and you know, we are all gods and goddesses. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om.